Welcome to Mother Daughter Projects. I'm Steph.
I'm Vicki.
And did you know you can borrow things from your public library?
Well, we didn't know that until a few months ago, and we looked and see what they had, and they had a couple of tools they wanted to borrow, so we borrowed 2 tools. But before we get into that, let's just talk about how Library of Things came into being.
And I was curious, so I Googled it, and on Wikipedia I found that the term became popular in 2014 when a place in London started having their own library of things. And this is basically anything that's other than books, CDs, stuff you typically have at a library. So it can be tools, electronics, art supplies, and there are libraries that offer them, and there's also borrowing centers that have specific items, maybe just for tools or things like that. And this is all part of the concept of shared economy.
Now, we became aware of this through a newsletter. Both Steph and I subscribed to the local library newsletter, and in there was a little tiny item about this Library of Things, and we're like, what's that? So we went to the website, and there were pages and pages of things that you could borrow from the library. They had tools and games, electronics, so they had a couple of tools that we wanted to borrow, so we scheduled that, and it took about 2 months for us to get what we needed, so got to keep that in mind. But we got them, and they got to send us an email, and we went to the library and picked them up, and we used them.
Yeah, and it was very simple. We went to our main public library to pick them up, and we went to the help desk, and they found us really easily in the system, and we filled out a little waiver, and they brought the tool out to us, and it was in perfect condition. The first tool we borrowed was the post hole digger, and it came in a fun little red bag, so I carried that to the car. And the second tool we borrowed was a pressure washer, and that came to us nice and clean as well. And we had them each for 2 weeks, and we were able to use them. So here's a good look at what the tools looked like before we got them, when they were given to us, and then a look after. So we definitely made sure to clean them. You can bring them back dirty, and there's a $5 cleaning fee, but definitely be respectful and clean the tool. It did not take much time to make sure it was nice and clean.
And the funny thing about the pressure washer, when we brought it back, set it on the table, and the lady who was checking us back in said, "Did you use this?" So which told me that Steph did a really good job cleaning that pressure washer up, and when you see the video, you see that it got really, really dirty. So she did a great job.
Well, we learned. Now, we borrowed these 2 tools because we wanted to use them, but we also wanted to kind of experience what this would be like and the condition of the tools. And we will say both tools were great. They worked perfect. There was no issues. Besides the pressure washer, the handle came out of the back, and I tried to fix it, but I'm not sure what's wrong with it. And we did let them know that when we dropped it back off, but they both worked perfect, and they're in great condition. So I'm not sure how long they've been in rotation, how many times they've been used, and how often they replace the tools, but so far everything looked really good.
Well, one of the things you should remember is to read the manual. And with the pressure washer, it did come with a manual. And with the auger, the manual was not with it, but it was available as a download on the page where you reserved it. And make sure you read those manuals and be sure that you safely know how to use the tools that you are borrowing.
You also want to plan ahead if you're going to borrow some tools or any items, because it does take a little bit of time. So it took us about 2 months to get these tools, and now that we are aware of the library, we can plan ahead for the year to come and maybe get them when the weather is not so hot here in Florida in the summertime.
Correct. Now, we were very curious about how they actually fund this particular Library of Things, and we did find out it's the Friends of Libraries, which is an organization that provides support in the way of funding for different projects and things of the library. So this is just one of the things that they do with their funding.
Now, your public library might not offer this, so take a look. If it doesn't, maybe bring it up to them, bring it up to the Friends of the Library. Maybe this is something they'll do in the future. There's also other borrowing centers that might be in your area. There's specific tool libraries. We're aware of one in Atlanta and in Maryland. There's also maker spaces that might allow you to borrow tools or go there to use tools. So take a look and see what might be available for free or for a small membership within your area.
So all in all, we are very happy with our experience borrowing the 2 tools from the library. And we actually have 2 separate videos on those, so you can watch those. One on the auger and one on the pressure washer. So thanks for joining us. If you want to see more from us, please visit us at motherdaughterprojects.com. Because you normally do that?
Yeah, I didn't know when to say it.